I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm here with another video tutorial for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the new watercolor pencils from Stampin' Up. And we are going to use this stamp set here, which is new in the catalog. It's called Bright Wishes, and it has this really pretty line drawing of a wishing well and all these wonderful greetings to go with it. So I'm going to set this aside. I've already stamped my wishing well on a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I used just regular Whisper White paper. Now we also have thick Whisper White cardstock, so if you feel like it might be better to do that, you could go ahead and use that to stamp your image and do your watercoloring. I think it'll be just fine. We're just fixing to find out actually to do it on here, because you're not using a lot of water when you're using the watercolor pencils. You're actually just mainly coloring. It's kind of like coloring with not watercolor pencils, but just regular colored pencils. So you could actually color it and leave it alone, but we're actually going to do some watercoloring with a blender pen. Okay, and so let me grab that. And by the way, these watercolor pencils come in a little box. And then what I did is I bought, we sell the stamp cases that the clear mount or photopolymer stamps come in. We sell them individually, and I bought one of those, and these fit perfect in there with all three of my blender pens. So I'm going to take a blender pen here, and you're also going to need a piece of scratch paper, or in my case I like to use a paper towel. I'm going to set this off to the side to clean off your blender pen. So the first thing I want to do is I want to lay down some color. So I'm going to choose some colors. Now this line drawing is very intricate, and this is watercoloring. So I am not really going to be worried about perfection. This is not one of those times when you want to do that. You just want to go with it. And I'm actually, because it is small, not going to worry about staying in the lines particularly, because watercolor, if you've noticed, it doesn't stay in the lines. Okay, it's impressionistic. So I'm going to take this old olive, and I'm just going to start over here, and I'm just going to lay down some color, and I'm just going across the lines actually. I'm just going to, lay down some color. The harder you press, the more color you'll get. And this looks very muted right here. I'm actually going to put a little darker in the middle of this little bush or whatever it is. Okay, and I'll put around in here. And you want to leave some white space, because if you notice with watercoloring, there's white space as well. So I'm not going to worry about filling everything in. Then I'm going to take, let's do the Daffodil Delight. Let's add a little yellow into this. So we'll just do some yellow. And my table is shaking. It's not the most sturdy thing, so I'm shaking the camera, and I apologize. Now, here's where the magic happens. I'm going to take the blender pen. The blender pen will help move the color around. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to start, because I want it darker in the middle, I'm going to just move some of the color in towards the center of this. And I don't know, that the lighting in here may not be doing this justice. It actually makes the color pop a lot more. And here's the yellow. So it's actually brightened that up quite a bit. Now, I could let this dry and then add a little bit more color on top, so you could actually build that up if you wanted to, if you wanted it a little brighter. I'm going to leave it alone, and let's change, let's see, what do I want to do next? And I'm not going to watercolor this whole thing, because I think you get the idea. This would take a little bit of time. So for time's sake, I'll do a little bit more, and then I will come back later after my project is finished and show you the end result. So I do love these pencils. They are really fun to work with. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put some more, green on here. Over here. We're just going to put some green here. And like I said, I'm not staying in the lines, I'm just coloring. And I'll do some of this, those little leaves over here, this vine. I will kind of do some of the vine here. And I noticed it's got some little leaves or flowers, looks like flowers, so maybe I might add a little color, little different color there. Okay. Now you could kind of finish, you could actually just color this whole thing and then come back with the blender pen. That won't matter. You can do that after you get everything filled in that you want and add on, you know, all your color. I am going to use, let's see, I think this might be, this could be cherry cob. Oh no, here, this is what I want. I think this is real red right here. They are marked on the side, but they're really hard to see. Yeah, that's real red. So they do have the name of it here as well as the color on the end. And I am gonna do some, of these little buds here. And like I said, these may not stand out so much right now. Kind of muted right now. Let's see where else I want to add a little pop of color. Maybe down here. I'm just gonna see what happens here. And I'm gonna actually turn the pencil on its side and kind of just add some color a little darker here. Okay. I'm going to add red to my little bucket here. My wishing well. And like I said, I'm going to leave some white space. I'm not going to worry too much, but that's pretty cool. So let's go back and just use our blender pen again. And I used my paper here to just wipe off my tip, make sure that it's clean. And let's do the bucket. I think you might be able to tell how it's moving the color around and made it kind of pop. Now these are muted colors when they go on, mainly because, you know, real red, if you've seen the cardstock, of course, or the ink, it's real vibrant. But when you're watercoloring, it's not going to be quite as bright, and the color will be, you know, a little different going on. Okay. And I'm barely touching these little blossoms where I added some color. Okay, so there you go. That's a good start. I will be posting my final project here on Facebook and on my wallflowergreetings.com page. So you could go and take a look at that. I will also have all the products used as well as the dimensions that I used. And I think probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it. I've already got my cardstock ready here. I decided that I wanted to use a Whisper White card base. Let me find that. Actually, that is not Whisper White. Looks like it might be very vanilla. No, it's Whisper White. Okay, so here's my card base, and I use for my card bases thick Whisper White because it's nice and sturdy. And so then I decided I wanted a layering piece. This is a piece of basic gray, and then I'll put this on top once it's done. So I think it's going to look really, really good once it's finished. So stay tuned, and I will finish this and I will be posting in the near future. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will see you later. Bye.